In this topic, you will understand the different steps of the process through an overview of the PJM flow. In this demonstration, you will experience the scheduling and organization of the project tasks. The new task planning function allows you to manage a multi-level task tree to identify the operational components of the project. To get started, click on Task Planning in the right panel. The top level, or parent level, corresponds to the macro tasks. I'll create 4 of them: design, assembly, installation, and acceptance testing. For simplicity, each task has a 1-month duration, and the tasks are sequentially scheduled. The operating site is defaulted from the project header. Now, I will create a few intermediate levels to group the tasks together. Intermediate levels also enable a set of tasks to be launched simultaneously. For example, launching a parent task will also launch its child tasks. By using intermediate levels, we can split the assembly activity into smaller tasks such as assembly of the tower unit and assembly of the jib. By definition, these intermediate tasks have the macro tasks as their parents. I have also created the lowest levels in the operational structure, which are considered to be expense tasks. That is, labor tasks, material tasks, or combined labor-material tasks. Design tasks were created to schedule the mechanical design labor, and material tasks will be used in the assembly phase to drive the stock activity required for the components, such as the tower and the jib. The category used will determine whether or not a task is a labor or a mechanical task. Note that labor tasks are represented by an employee icon, and material tasks are identified by a box. The budget code field creates a link between the budget and the operational structure if used. There is also a status management task. Click on the Change Status icon in the right screen panel to update the task status. The status can be set to plan, launch, close, suspend, or reactivate. Once the task structures have been created, you can use them to assign operations or products to be delivered in the grid at the bottom of the screen. We will now set operations for the mechanical design task and assign operations to resources. This will enable the tracking of the total time spent on this operation. Upon task completion, this will allow you to identify delays, and the track time will be valued and made available for budgeting. The labor task describes the labor portion of the project. The time spent on the work order will be tracked as usual against the work order, and its value will be included in the stock value of the related product to be delivered. To get started, we'll click on Task Planning and select the labor task. To create the operational information, we need to identify the associated resources. The resources are actually work centers as used in the manufacturing module. You can assign up to 2 work centers to the same operation. After setting the start and end dates, you can enter a description to clarify the content of the task. You can also use the folder icon at the beginning of the line to enter free text. You can choose to plan this operation in several time units, hours or days for example. And the planned load must also be defined. The consumed load will automatically be increased with the time entries during the project lifetime. The system calculates the remaining load, but you have the ability to modify the remaining load to take into account errors in the initial load estimation. The traceability of the initial load is retained. After saving, you can specify the employees assigned to this operation by clicking on the chain icon at the beginning of the line. All of the fields previously available are available in the new screen, and a new grid allows you to break down the operational load on multiple employees. This is not mandatory. However, the benefit of making employee assignments allows for the planning of time entries. Each user will be able to complete his own timesheet based on his assignments. This will be further explained during the time entry demonstration. After assigning employees, click Save to record the information. Now we will set up products for the assembly task. This is done to trigger a material requirement that can be used by the MRP processing system to suggest a work order or a purchase order. You only identify the parent product expected to be delivered without specifying the components. The production bill of material will ensure that the correct components will be involved in the work order or assembly process. First, select a task requiring material. Click on the Products tab. And enter a finished or semi-finished product. Accept or modify the unit and quantity. You can mark the Sold Product checkbox to ensure the current product will be included in the list of sellable products generated by the sales automation functionality. You can also indicate if the product is to be delivered against the project in case the delivery is not managed by the sales order. In the right panel, there's a menu allowing you to jump to Enterprise Planning. The Enterprise Planning function can display all product requirements related to the current task. After completing your entries, click Save. Then close the Task Planning function. You now understand how to schedule and organize project tasks.